Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to be learning how to multiply and divide algebraic fractions. So I have an example just to illustrate how we do that. Let's look at this example. Simplify the following. On part A we have 2ab over 3 multiplied by 9 over 4b. On part B we have 3mn minus 6n over 4 divided by 5m minus 10 over 6. Now before you check out my solution, I would want you to try out these two problems, part A and part B. I just give you a few minutes to do that, so I want you to pause the video starting from now. Here's our solution. We want to start with part A. On part A we have 2ab over 3 multiplied by 9 over 4b. Right, so this is what you do when you are performing a multiplication of fractions. You look at the terms that are your numerators. In this case we have 2ab and 9, and you also look at the terms that are your denominators. In this case we've got 3 and 4b, and you try to see if there are terms, if there is a term on the numerator and a term on the denominator that have a common factor, so that you can look for the highest common factor which you can divide into both terms. Like I'm saying here that for the terms 3 and 9, they have a common factor of 3, right? Common factor of 3, such that if I am to divide 3 into 3, I get 1, and if I divide 3 into 9, I get 3. So that will mean that I have simplified that part of our problem. And if I look at 2ab and 4b, I'm also saying that there is a common factor of 2b, right? Such that if I divide 2b into 2ab, I get a, and if I divide 2b into 4b, I get 2. So that means that I'll be left with a multiplied by 3 on the numerator and 1 multiplied by 2 on the denominator. That's what I'll be left with. So I simplify a by 3 gives me 3a, and that's 3a over 2. That's your solution to part A. Alright, so that's how we do it. Let's look at part B to see how we can perform a division. On part B we have 3mn minus 6n over 4 divided by 5m minus 10 over 6. Alright, so this is our part B. It's a division. The thing with division, and I always want you to note that, if you can make note of that, is you first have to deal with the division sign. You have to deal with that first. So deal with the division, and you do that by introducing a multiplication sign. You do that for all algebraic fractions that are in division, like the one we have. So we have our 3mn minus 6n over 4, and we introduce a multiplication sign. Introducing a multiplication sign has the effect of causing the term that is to your right to invert. So we invert, it becomes 6 over 5m minus 10. Next thing here is we do what we said we do on part A, but you see, in order for us to see if we can have common factors for the numerators and denominator, why don't we first factorize these algebraic expressions? Alright, so let's do that. So for 3mn minus 6n, we can look for the highest common factor for 3mn and minus 6n so that we can factorize it. So in this case we'll be factoring out 3n, and if we divide 3n into 3mn, what do we get? We get m, and if we divide 3n into minus 6n, we get minus 2, and that's what we get after factorizing that numerator. That's divided by 4, and that is multiplied by 6 over, in this case we want to factorize 5m minus 10, and if we factorize 5m minus 10, we factor out 5, and we divide 5 into 5m minus 10. What we get there is m when we divide 5 into 5m, and if we divide 5 into minus 10, we get minus 2. Alright, so now let's just have a little bit of space right here. Now what we can do is we can now look for the common factors. Like I'm saying here that for 4 and for 6 they have a highest common factor of 2. So why don't we divide 2 into 4 and into 6? Right, so what do we get right there? If we divide 2 into 4 we get 2, and 2 into 6 we get 3. Next I look at these two terms on the numerator and the one on the denominator. I'm saying that there is a common factor there of m minus 2. So I'm going to divide m minus 2 into the numerator right there and also into the denominator, such that after having done that, I'm saying that there are no more common factors on the numerators and denominators for those terms. So I now just multiply what is there. On the numerator we have 3n left, 1 and 3. So the product of 3n, 1 and 3 will give us 9n. And on the denominator we have 2 and multiplied by 5 and 1. So what we have is 10 if we multiply those numbers. And that's the solution to part B.